Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of my wonderful and beautiful little subscribers out there. And how I love you all so, and I hope that you're all super duper well, super duper wonderful, and super duper delicious. And that life is treating you most deliciously, right? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? So it's nearly 25 past 8 in the evening in our old England, my delicious little babies. It is a lot chillier now, my delicious little babies. And just to let you know, my flipping boiler. I have had a dear boiler gentleman come out to myself, not in that way, not in that way. And it turns out that, the ones who actually, make these boilers, okay, my delicious babies, well, it turns out that they've got to come out to it. Okay, my delicious babies. Now, what it is, you see, because you can go on YouTube, because my boiler is a Baxi boiler, okay, my delicious baby. So you can go on YouTube, and if you type in, what type of boiler it is, then you can actually get information. Do you know what I mean, my delicious babies, kind, but not in this case. So I don't know what it is with me and boilers, my delicious babies. Do you understand what I mean? But they just seem to continue to stop working for some reason, my delicious babies. And all this digital as well. It's all digital. Like before, if you got older boilers, I prefer the older boilers, my delicious babies. Do you know what I mean? Okay, because usually 9 times out of 10 you'll find the problem. Do you see what I mean? Okay, but all this bloody digital nonsense. You know what I mean? Anyway. So yeah, so at the moment I've got my gases on in the kitchen, my delicious little babies, you know what I mean, just to circulate the heat. Okay, my delicious babies. Oh, anyway, don't worry. 3, 2, 1, my cheese little lights. Thank you, little lights. You're delicious and bright. Yes, they are, aren't they, this evening? Now, just to show you, so I've made homemade jam today, my delicious babies. This is all homemade. Okay, my delicious babies, and you can tell because I've had to leave it to set a bit. Okay. But that's it there. Okay, so you can see. Okay, just, because it's setting. I'll tell you what, it smells delish. Now, I went to a grocery shop today. My delicious babies. I won't go too close because I don't like to lean over food or anything. You know what I mean? My delicious babies. Anyway, so I went to, so that's my beautiful jam. But what it is, it's not one of those really hard jams, you know what I mean? It's easily spreadable. So I went to this, before I proceed with the 2 videos that I'd like to mention this evening, my delicious babies. So I went to the grocery shop and I was looking, and you had English strawberries, which is what I bought. And then you had a Belgian strawberries. Well, they were for ka-ching, $4.99, my delicious babies, but these were $1.99. So what's the point that I'm making? There was not much difference in the strawberries at all, only for the fact that the Belgian ones were slightly darker. Okay, my delicious babies. Now, here's what I've got to say. This is what I'm saying. So, yes, we need other produce. I get it. I genuinely, to my heart, get it. Okay, my delicious babies. But we should really, if you look at it, okay, we should, encourage our farmers, and all of this now then. Do you know what I mean? Okay. And I thought, no. I thought, well, I'm not going to pay $4.99 for strawberries. Not even if I was a millionaire, my delicious babies, I wouldn't do it. And anyway, I'm not a big lover of strawberries, so there's only 2 that I put aside just to eat because they seem to go off very quickly, my delicious little babies. Okay, so I thought, well, I'll do my jam while they're all fresh. Do you know what I mean? Well, as fresh as you can get, my delicious little babies. So that was that anyway. So I bought myself some apricots as well. It's good to keep the seeds, my delicious little babies, like the hard bit in the centre of the apricot. And then, crack that open. Anyway, I'm not going to say anything more, my delicious little babies, okay? So tomorrow I'm going to be making an apricot jam. But the only thing is, with that recipe, my delicious little babies, you need a little bit of butter. Well, one of my dear, lovely little neighbours across the road there now, she did say to me the other day, bless her, they're such a beautiful little family, you know. And she did say to me, she said, you know, will you please be able to show me, you know, how to do the butter? So, well, I've got my Waitrose delivery coming tomorrow. So what it is, I've ordered a large butter, so I'm going to show her how to do it. So I said to her, I said, what I'll do, I said, I'll start you off. I said, and then I'll just stand next to you. I said, so that you can, you know, make the butter herself. Okay, because I said to her, you see, I'm very visual, baby. So if I watch somebody do something, like when I used to watch my dear dad or my beautiful dear little nanny and granddad, you know, when I used to watch them, you know, and to do cooking and stuff, yes, I used to really be paying, there we are, strong attention to it, do you see what I mean, okay, because I just love cooking savoury things, but this here is going to be for when I do some scones, you know, some call it scones and others call it scones, but of course I can make the cream, the scones, and of course the jam. Okay, my delicious babies. And they always say about the jam, don't they? They say, you know, what is it? Is it, you know, the jam first, then the cream, or is it the cream first, then the jam? You know, this has always been a thing, my delicious babies in our old England. You know what I mean? Okay, it's gone on for flipping decades. Anyway, my delicious babies. So yeah. So yeah, but you need, with the apricot butter, okay, my delicious babies, you actually need a little bit of butter. So I'm going to make some tomorrow, you know, with my cream, because, you know, if you go to the local shops, my delicious babies, right, you cannot buy proper butter, and you cannot buy proper cream, really, my delicious babies. It's just not rocking and rolling, okay? So for myself, I like my cream, there we are, to taste like cream. Do you understand what I mean, my delicious babies? Not that I have a huge sweet tooth, because I do not, okay, my delicious babies. But if you're going to do something, there we are, do it damn well properly. Do you understand what I mean, my delicious babies? You know, no flipping messing around. Do you understand what I mean? But it's going to be good for me dear little neighbour, bless her, you know, to come over, you know, and show her. And she'll see that it's just so easy. I sent her some butter, was it a number of months ago now? She said it was lovely. I said, you know, and her dear husband said the same, said it was lovely. They're such a beautiful couple, you know, little family they are. And said it was really lovely. I said, thank you very much. Do you know what I mean? So what's the point I'm making? We can do, I could have gone out and I could have bought, you know what I mean? Okay, it would have been so easy to do that. But what's 30 minutes out of my time? My delicious babies, it's not a lot, is it? And I used with this, just to let you know, my delicious babies. So if you use a punnet strawberries, okay, you must think with myself, my delicious babies. I'm always giving bloody recipes, okay? Well, it's a good thing anyway. There we are. It's a good thing, okay, because you always feel wonderful with your achievement. And look how beautiful that is, okay, my delicious babies. It's delish. You've got lovely, beautiful chunks in there, which is, but you know, you have to cut the strawberries in half, my delicious babies, wash them and then cut them in half and then chop off the, you know, the stem. But then you need one whole lemon, okay, my delicious babies. But for myself, I needed to use two, really, okay. So I used two in there. And it does say to use, is it a kilogram or something of, well, I use silver spoon sugar, my delicious babies, but there's no way that I was ever going to put a full kilogram in there, not a chance, you know what I mean? So what I did is I just put just under a half, so that's what's gone into my jam, my delicious babies, okay? So that's it, that's the story of the jam, okay, my delicious babies. Anyway, so yeah, then I'll show you tomorrow when I've done my apricot jam. So I'll show you my apricots, okay? You know, remember to keep the hard parts. Okay, my delicious babies. Now then, so these two pieces of information, okay? So I haven't done a video, have I, yesterday, okay? Now then, the first one is, right, this uploader, and with anybody not in that way, this uploader happens to have 226,000 subscribers, my delicious little babies, Kai. And the uploaders are called China, okay? Capital C, my delicious little babies, then space, and then capital F, fact, then a space, then capital C, chasers. You know, like you're chasing somebody. Okay, my little babies. So it should read once tapped into old YouTube. Should anybody happen to have any form of an interest, of course. China, fact, chasers. Okay, my little babies. Now then, this video is just under 10 minutes long, and it should read China. I cannot help it, my little babies, is underwater again. Do you know what I mean, Martin? Babies can't. And what can you see with China? So it's clearly a part of China, you know what I mean? Seems to be, from what I can see, lots of white. There we are, Lego electric cars. Sorry, Martin, babies. Yeah, I did stumble there. Every reason to, do you know what I mean? There seems to be a lot of Lego electric cars all around the world, doesn't there, Martin? Babies, anyway. So, yeah, well worth a look at that video, my delicious babies. I mean, it's not good for the poor, dear Chinese, my delicious babies. But, of course, you know, their putrid flipping leader, Xi Jinping, right? He couldn't give a shit, could he? Do you know what I mean? Make some flipping eat dirty oil, man, and everything like that now then. Do you know what I mean, my delicious babies? That's not the sign of a very good leader, is it, my delicious babies, anyway? But these two here, my delicious babies, okay, with the uploaders, they also have the China show on YouTube, my delicious babies, which I have advertised a number of times, my delicious babies, okay? I'm pretty sure they've got even more subscribers now, okay? And of course, even for themselves, you know, they have to watch themselves what they say, because some videos will not be monetized. You know what I mean? This is how they're rocking and rolling it, my delicious babies, you know what I mean? Anyway, the final video for this evening, and just before I proceed to mention this video is about, I think, just over 15 minutes long. Anyway, I'll tell you about it in a moment, my delicious babies. Yeah, I said I wasn't going to mention her, you know, to do with the latest, what's going on in America, my delicious babies. But come on, you know, come on. I mean, if that wasn't telling everybody, you know, that video, you know, with all the, what is it, bloody fireworks and everything going off in the room, you know, and in the stadium and everything, okay? You know who I'm talking about, my delicious little babies, okay? Charlie Kirk, okay? It was supposed to be a memorial. Well, there we are. Well, I've been to memorials, and they usually, there we are, very heartfelt, there we are, and very serious. Okay, my delicious babies. To myself, from what I can see, there we are, they're effing milking it, man. There we are. That's what they're doing, they're milking it. Because really, we know the truth, isn't it? Okay, oh, there we are. I already know the truth. You know what I mean? Just like when they showed him in his coffin, you could only see the hands. My delicious babies. Okay, my delicious little babies. I'm not really going to say much else on that subject, my delicious little babies. Just to the fact that while everybody's chatty, they're doing other things, my delicious little babies. Just like I listened to our lovely trending on Iconic, my delicious little babies, this morning. Oh, bless. You know, on YouTube, my delicious babies, you know, our lovely, you know, with anybody not in that way, our lovely dear davidart.com, if you wanted to go on there as well, to go and have a look, my delicious babies. Well, you know, they're trying to roll in these digital IDs, you know, our putrid government, my delicious little babies, okay? So while all of this is all going on, and everybody's chatty, there are other things going on. There we are, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I'm saying, okay? So this is the point that I'm making. And when you actually look at it, I mean, they couldn't be more, there we are, obvious. Could not be more obvious. You know, they're doing their best to let the world, from what I can see, know something. Oh, sorry, pardon me, excuse me, my delicious little babies, guy. They're trying to tell them something, to tell the world something. There we are. But still, ones for some, my delicious little babies, there we are, just simply simple things, just not getting it. Do you know what I mean? Okay, my delicious little babies. Okay. For myself, I just, I listen to the videos, you know what I mean? If you could hear myself some days, my delicious little babies, right, I find things there we are utterly hilarious. Do you know what I mean? Because it's right in everybody's birth race. There we are. It's in everybody's birth race. So if ones cannot see, well, I just do not know, really. My delicious little babies. Do you understand what I mean? You know? Anyway, so the final video, my delicious little babies. Anyway, this one here, yes, okay. So I was looking for other videos, okay, my delicious little babies, something that caught me eyes and ears, do you know what I mean, okay? And I came up with this one, my delicious, there we are, little babies, okay? So this uploader happens to have, when I first seen him, by the way, my delicious little babies, a couple of days ago, okay? It was later. It was after I'd done my videos on the 20th, my delicious little babies, okay? So I thought, I'm not coming back on, just, I'll wait until the next time I do a video. So I'm not being, disrespectful there, my delicious little babies, okay? I thought I'll just wait. He had 25,000 my delicious little babies. He's now up to 25.2 thousand my delicious little babies. And his name is in your space bar. Should anybody have any form of an interest, and like I said earlier, it is I think just over 15 minutes long, okay, my delicious little babies. But then there's another video anyway, I'll leave that up to yourselves. Please and thank you. And his name is capital K, my delicious little babies, Ken, and then a space, capital C, K-O. So it's spelled C-A-O, K-O. Okay, my delicious little babies. And the video should read, China's debt bomb is about to explode. The end of the yuan. Okay, my delicious little babies. So I'm just going to repeat that again for you, shall I? China's debt bomb is about to explode. The end of the yuan. Okay, my delicious little babies. Now, at one time, sorry, excuse me. This uploader was explaining on the other video I was talking about, my delicious little babies, if you wanted to have a browse at his other videos. Anyway, please and thank you, my delicious little babies. Like I say, should anybody have any form of an interest, he once worked in, let's just say, a certain environment. Now, there we are, so to me, my delicious little babies. But as he said, which he did, he said that he was very naive at the time. There we are, my delicious little babies. He admitted to that. But I've got to be honest, I will be listening. And like I said, not in that way, not in that way. I will be listening, there we are, to more of his videos as well. There we are, my delicious little babies, okay? Put it this way, he has plenty to say. Now, for some uploaders, they will know who this is, but for other uploaders, and even for, anybody who listens to my video, there may be some of you, my delicious little babies, where you've never heard of him. Well, up until this point, I've got to be honest, I'd never heard of him. Okay, my delicious little babies, but let me tell you, he does, let's just say he's very good in front of the camera. Okay, my delicious little babies, let me tell you, there we are, he gets his point across, there we are, good and proper. Okay, my delicious little babies, so now I'm going to close my book. So this is the thing, you see, we need to go back to where we need to go back to, my delicious little babies, do you see what I mean? Yes? Anyway, so that's the end of my video, okay? So wherever you are in the world, whether it's morning, afternoon or evening, please have a super duper delicious time. You only get one life, my little honey bunnies. Sending peace, love, harmony and bright blessings to each and every one of you. And may your beautiful little selves and your beautiful little families, may you all be fully protected. Oh, and just let you know another thing as well. I've noticed, I don't know what's happening, I've never known it in all the years that I've been here, my delicious little babies, because in January, it'd be January, you know that song. Oh, that's the other song, before I came on the camera. Come on, baby, let's do the twist. That one. Because this is what I reckon's happening. Do you know what I mean? Martlish babies, Kai. And it goes like this. Do you see what I mean? Martlish babies, Kai. Well, since I've been living here, you know, you'll always see the odd one who will move out. You know, sometimes they've been here a long time. Sometimes they've only been here a short time, maybe a couple of years or something. But right now, I think we must have, on this road, I think about, hang on, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. There's about 4 or 5. There we are, flats, martelish little babies, all vacant. I've never ever known anything like that, martelish little babies, in all the years there we are that I've lived here. Honestly, martelish little babies, do you know what I mean? Okay. Because, and the other thing is as well, it's just so expensive. I mean, they tell you over the back, you know, how they advertise it is that you've got a lake view. I mean, I adore nature. I absolutely adore it. But I can well assure you now, my delicious little babies, unless you're in a flat upstairs, if you're down below, the flat below, like I am, okay, my delicious little babies, there's no chance that you'll be able to see the lake because all you can see is bushes in front of you and trees. My delicious little babies, do you see what I mean? So it's hardly a lake view, is it, my delicious little babies? But the flats over the back now are fetching, 900 ka-ching a month, my delicious little babies. I mean, how can mankind, you know, there we are, how can they afford these kind of, there we are, silly prices, my delicious little babies? I was just talking to somebody else, actually. I was out and about walking my beautiful, delicious dear little Ruby cheese sticks. I needed to go and get some sugar. And I went and got some oranges, tangerines, my delicious little babies. I had some at home, but I wanted to go and get some more, just fancied some. And I was talking to somebody else, and I said, oh, so are you moving out? They said, yes. I said, oh. And he said, and I said, well, you probably wouldn't be able to afford it on your own. And he said, no, I cannot. You know, because he was with his, you know, his ex-like, you know what I mean? So I suppose they split, you know what I mean, the rent and everything, my delicious little babies. But he said, no, he said, I couldn't afford it. He said, and not with the council tax and with all the other bills. He said, there's just no way that I could afford to live there. So he's had to go and find somewhere cheaper. And he's, you know, his ex-wife, bless her, you know what I mean? She's, and bless them both, you know what I mean? Because he's lived there for years. They've lived there for years. You know, well, the thing is, she's going somewhere else and he's going somewhere else. Do you know what I mean? Martelish little baby's case. That's another flat that's going to be vacant. Look at it. Look how many Martelicious little babies are just slipping empty. Okay. Oh, and one final thing I want to say. I never wrote it down. I wish I'd have wrote it down. I'm going to try and find it again now. You know, the charity shops, for some of them, Martelicious little babies are closing down. Because, you know, these bigger, what are they, corporations? Yeah, them. Okay, Martelicious little babies. It's like Pac-Man. That's what it is. Do you see what I mean, Martelicious little babies? So look, now some of the charity shops, there we are, closing down, Martelicious little babies. Can you see what's going on here? There we are. Can you see? Martelicious little babies, can. Anyway, so that's the end of my video. Thank you so very much for listening. How I love you all so, okay? So until my next video, you just look after yourselves now. Take care. Thank you once again for listening. Thank you for any views, for any likes, and for, you know, the occasional comments, okay? Well, to be honest, I don't really receive any comments, my delicious little babies. Do you understand what I mean? Okay, so thank you so very much for any views or for any likes, okay? And let's just try and get my subscribers down. Do you know what I mean? There we are. That's what I'd really like, you know what I mean? Okay, I need it at a certain number. Okay, my delicious little babies anyway. So, you know, when others, they say, oh, please like and subscribe. There we are. I do the opposite. You know, you can like the video, but please do not subscribe. Okay, my delicious little babies, okay? So until my next video, have a love you, so take care. And if it is night time, sleep tight, watch your bed bugs don't bite, okay? Lots of love, okay? And if it's the morning, you know, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Okay, love you all. Bye-bye.